Alright guys, welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be discussing who is the strongest female character in Naruto, but specifically more about the konoichi of Naruto, because, if we're just looking at female characters, then I think, although she's not a very good character herself, we can all agree that Kaguya is undoubtedly the strongest female in Naruto. However, if we actually want to look at konoichi, not just from the present but from the past, more people come into mind. These are people like Tsunade, Sakura, Ino, Hinata, but also people from other villages like Chiyo, Mei, Kushina, Temari, and Karin. I know Karin isn't technically the konoichi, but I still included her in this list. So, up first, I'm gonna start with Tsunade. We all know her, we all love her. Well, not really, but she is the 5th Hokage, very powerful. She has a lot of physical strength, which I'm also gonna talk about with Sakura. She, of course, has the 100 healing jutsu. She is basically the inventor of healing magic. Sorry, not magic. Healing jutsus, which is quite crazy if you think about it. She was taught by the 3rd Hokage, granddaughter of the 1st Hokage. She does have quite some accomplishments as well. She was able to break through one of, well, it was a weaker version of Madara's Susanoo, but it was still a Susanoo nonetheless, so that is quite impressive, because she didn't use any jutsu, she just punched through it. Next up is Sakura. I know she's not that great of a character, but at this time, we're just looking at what she can do in a fight, which is actually not too bad herself. She was trained by Tsunade, which basically gives her almost the same abilities as Tsunade, but I feel like especially in Boruto, she has the potential to become much stronger than Tsunade, since she got most of Tsunade's knowledge and power before she even turned 20. So when Sakura becomes like Tsunade's age, I definitely think that she has a lot of potential that she can fill. Not as much as Naruto or Sasuke, of course, but she has still a lot to do. Next up, Ino. Another one of the Konoha 12. Part of the Yamanaka clan. She, of course, has some special Yamanaka jutsus, like the mind controlling one, which she can use upon her enemies and basically tell them what to do, which is quite impressive, if you ask me. However, her other abilities really aren't that crazy in my opinion. Now, if I'm missing something, please tell me, but I just feel like she is much weaker than Sakura. Next up is Hinata. Hinata is, of course, Naruto's wife, part of the Hyuga clan, with the Byakugan. Very powerful. And I believe she's actually the only one on this list with a Kekkei Genkai. Interesting. So, anyways, she is called the Byakugan Princess, and depending on what your definition is of mastered, but I think we can say that Hinata mastered the Byakugan, which is quite impressive if you ask me. She, of course, has almost 360 vision, can look through objects, and yeah, she, of course, knows the 64 palms technique and much more. And I feel like she is quite a fierce warrior. She has her ups and downs, but I feel like she's a strong warrior. Maybe not quite as strong as Sakura, but she is quite powerful, much more than Ino in my opinion. Then is Chiyo. Chiyo, of course, also has some healing jutsus up her sleeve. Of course, spoiler alert, but she did resurrect Gaara when he basically died at the beginning of Shippuden. She gave up her own life to save him. And that was really the end of her. We didn't see that much, but we did see that she knows some healing jutsus. Not that strong because, she wasn't able to heal Kankuro, for example, which Sakura was able to do. But she, of course, is a master puppeteer, not puppet. She's not a puppet, she is a puppeteer. And she actually taught Sasori, if I'm not mistaken. And he grew up to become quite a powerful shinobi. Well, rogue shinobi, I guess. But still. As I said, we didn't get to see much of her, so I feel like if we did, maybe I could rank her higher. But I feel like for now, I'm not sure. Anyways, next up is Mei. Mei is the Tsuchikage or Mizukage. I always forget which one. I believe it's a Tsuchikage though. She knows magma style, as well as some other very interesting and somewhat unique abilities. She is one of very few female Kage, which also says a lot about her. And she was able to stand her own against Sasuke Of course, this was quite a weak Sasuke in comparison to what we have today, but before the Fourth Shonen War started, Tobi and Sasuke, who everybody thought was still Madara, of course went to the 5 Kage meeting and basically, metaphorically and literally, blew up the place, right? And she was able to fight quite well against them, so that is quite the feat. Now next up, of course, the one and only wife of Minato Namikaze, fourth Hokage, Kushina Uzumaki. I believe she's the last remaining full-blooded Uzumaki. Although I'm not sure about Karin, I don't know. But for all I know, Kushina is the last remaining full Uzumaki. She has incredible chakra reserves. She was the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails and contained him for multiple decades. She's a high-ranking Jonin, or at least she was, since she died in the Nine Tails attack. And even after the Nine Tails got taken out of her, which usually kills people immediately, like we saw with Gaara. No kidding, 5 seconds, boom, he was dead. Kushina, not only did she not even faint, she stayed alive, was awake, and was even able to cast a jutsu afterwards. A quite powerful one at that. It was a sealing jutsu to help seal Kurama into Naruto. So that is very impressive. Then, next one is Temari. I feel like she is... Okay, so here's what I think, right? we saw her hold her own in the Fourth Shinobi War. Now, of course, not like not like Naruto or Sasuke did, but she was able to do quite some damage. And even though they weren't fighting on a one-on-one, she was actually able to knock back Madara with one of her attacks. Now, as I said, he wasn't really paying attention to her, she was just attacking him from the side, but she was the only one of the 1,000 shinobi that were there that were actually able to do something. Of course, except for Gaara and the other Kage. So that is quite impressive. She, of course, annihilated everyone in the Chunin exams, but I guess, well, I mean, I don't know, is that impressive? Probably yes. I don't know. Anyways, I feel like she's very smart. She's a very smart fighter. She has quite powerful abilities with her fan. Very strong wind abilities. And yeah. Last up is Karin. Now Karin, again, there's not that much we know about her, but we do know that she has a very special healing ability where if you bite her skin, I know that sounds wrong, but if you bite her, for example, on her arm, if you bite into her skin, then she gives her chakra and transfers it into the person that is biting her. And that is so powerful, it was able to almost single-handedly bring back Tsunade on the brink of death. Which is amazing since Tsunade's own slugs couldn't do that. Although, to be fair, Tsunade was very low in chakra, and I mean, it's really hard to heal yourself, if you know what I mean. Anyways, there are all the explanations. Now, let's see which I think is strongest. First up, Chiyo, definitely not the strongest out of these people. So, I mean, it's very clear that whilst she does have healing abilities, they are easily outshined by Sakura, Tsunade, and even Karin, to be honest. And the ability to bring back one person from the dead, but to sacrifice your own life, isn't really that special either. She was just, I guess, the only one that was really willing to do it. But it's not really that unique. Next, I'd say it's Ino. So, as I previously mentioned, Ino does have her shadow abilities. Sorry, not her shadow abilities, that's Shikamaru. She does have her mind controlling jutsus, but if there's more than one person, she doesn't really have a chance against them, especially when it's some of these powerhouses that I previously mentioned. Now, let's see. So, of course, Kushina, Tsunade, and probably Sakura are at the very top. Mei and Hinata. So, I'd say Mei is superior to Hinata. And the reason for that is, I mean, let's be honest. Mei is a Kage level fighter. Maybe even higher. Hinata, well, she's not weak, but she's not Kage level either. She might be a Jonin, maybe even a high level Jonin, but she's not a Kage level fighter. So I think Hinata loses this one. Now, at this point, you're probably gonna say Sakura isn't actually that strong. But I believe that if we give her a chance, I think she is. So Mei is also not in the top 3. Now I have Tsunade, Kushina, and Sakura. Oh right, sorry, I forgot Temari. Yeah, also, I think this is a hard statement, but I still do believe that Sakura is stronger than Temari. Alright, I'm sorry for everybody who thinks Sakura's trash. Don't get me wrong, she's not the best character, but she's not that weak, alright? We have to admit that. So, top 3, Kushina, Tsunade, and Sakura. Kushina, extremely high chakra. Not only is she a full Uzumaki, but she also has the 9 tails, the strongest tailed beast inside of her. And she can at least somewhat control it. I mean, she's not like Gaara where it goes rampage. Or at least has gone rampage before. Even at childbirth, she was able to contain it. Until, of course, Obito came and ruined everything. So I think she's actually superior to Sakura. So there we go. Everybody who thinks Sakura's trash, there you go. Sakura, not in the top 2. Although, hold up a moment. There is one thing I must think about. Is Tsunade or Sakura stronger? Well, currently, I'd say they're pretty even. However, Sakura in the future will definitely surpass her master. By far. And I'm not talking about Kakashi, because Kakashi never really cared about Sakura. Sorry. He just didn't. But, yeah. I think Sakura is actually stronger than Tsunade, because as I said, she has much more potential than Tsunade. Since she already learned most of Tsunade's techniques, if not even all of them, by quite a young age in comparison to Tsunade. So, top 2 is Sakura and Kushina. And to be fair, Sakura has a lot of potential, right? But come on, this is Kushina we're talking about. The amount of chakra she has and life energy is just crazy. I don't think that Sakura can overwhelm Kushina, at least not at this point. Maybe sometime in Boruto she gets like a crazy power up, but I do not think that anyone on this list can beat Kushina. Not Tsunade, not Sakura, not Mei, not Temari, nobody. I don't think a single person here can beat Kushina, which is why I am officially declaring Kushina as the strongest konoichi, strongest female konoichi. By the way, not including Kaguya, as I mentioned before. Anyways, that's the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment what you think of the list. Hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm gonna see you next time. Peace.